Story time about how my friend's husband wants to hook up with me and I kind of want to say yes. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I know everyone in the comment section is going to tell me not to do it. But hear me out. I've known this friend for 6 months now. Let's call her Sally. Sally and I met through some mutual friends. She's just kind of boring. The only real reason we became friends is because our dogs get along. And because they got along, we decided to set up some play dates. Most of the time I would come over to her house because she has a really big yard. So it was good for both of our dogs. FYI, I live in a small apartment, so it made sense for me to go to her house. I would go over to her house once or twice a week, but I actually didn't meet her husband until a few weeks after I started going. So like I said, my friend Sally is really boring. She always manages to take the fun out of everything. Anytime our dogs are playing, she tries to stop them from having fun. She will literally tell them to stop running in her yard where there's no one there. But here's the thing. One day her husband was finally home when I was, and as soon as we met, we were both laughing at everything we were saying. He was so funny, like the complete opposite of Sally. Let me tell you, Sally got jealous right away. In fact, she told me to stop coming over to her house. But her husband found me on Instagram. Part 2 is up. Story time about how my friend's husband keeps trying to hook up with me and I kind of want to. Disclaimer, is not my story time, was sent to me on Instagram. After Sally asked me not to come back to her house, her husband found me on Instagram. Let's call him Jerry. Like I said in part 1, Jerry and I hit it off right away. We were like kindred spirits, I swear. We were not just attracted to each other, we made each other laugh. As soon as he followed me on Instagram, I DM'd him. He DM'd me right back. That's when he asked me if I wanted to go get a coffee. And of course I said yes. We ended up getting coffee the very next hour. As soon as we sat down with coffee, he started telling me exactly what he wanted. He told me that his wife is boring, which I totally agree with. Sally's kind of pretty, but her boring personality just takes all of that right away. So I understand him. I mean, if you guys could see me. Then he told me that he was really attracted to me and that he thought we could have fun. I asked him to be more specific, and he said, let's get a hotel room. I said no. How dare you? I mean, I really did, but I was kind of cute about it. And he's like, come on, I know you want to as well. Told him that I did want to, but that he was a married man. To Sally, who was kind of like my fake friend. Then he asked me to go to his car with him so that we could speak privately. Went into his car, and guess what we did? Part 3 is up. Time about how my friend's husband keeps trying to hook up with me and I kind of want to say yes. Disclaimer, is not my story time, was sent to me on Instagram. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention in part 1 and 2 that I do have a boyfriend. We finally sat down in his car for some privacy. He went straight for it. He started trying to kiss me and grab at me, but of course, I put a stop to it. I mean, I am a respectable woman. I mean, maybe I did let him cop a field or two. After I got home, I really thought about it. A little background on my boyfriend and I. We've been together for 2 years, and honestly, he's a really good match with Sally. Not that he's boring, but he's just not very fun anymore, and the relationship has lost its spark. And to be honest, now that I think about it, I'm just not even attracted to him anymore. But I do feel bad for him, so I don't want to break up with him only for that reason. Which probably isn't the best reason, right? Anyway, Jerry keeps sending me messages asking me to hook up with him. He even made reservations at a really nice hotel, like a really expensive hotel. The reservation is for 3 nights from now. I do want to say yes, but I do actually feel guilty. I mean, I don't really like Sally or anything, but I did meet her first, so my loyalty should be to her, right? I also do feel bad for my boyfriend, but I truly believe that if I told him about this, he wouldn't even care. Vote in the comments yes or no if I should do this. Wish me luck. Bye.
I'm literally about to pee my pants. It is literally 9 a.m. And basically, I just found out Starbucks has a new drink. It's called the Pineapple Refresher. If there's one thing about me, it's that I love Starbucks. There's not one day this year I have not gotten Starbucks. I've been to Starbucks 365 days out of the year. And this refresher literally came out today, like this morning. So I'm gonna go try it. Okay, I literally just pulled up to Starbucks. Is it bad that I'm this excited about a freaking drink? Because I'm literally gonna pee my pants. I'm so excited right now. And could I get the Paradise drink in a Venti or a Trenta? I got the new drink. There's the drink and then the refresher, but I'm not a fan of refresher. I just got the drink. I'm like so excited to try this. Okay, let's go. Hold on. I'm not gonna lie, kind of tastes like body wash. I feel like it tastes like body wash.
16 years old and pregnant and I haven't told my parents. I'm actually 5 months along. What should I do? My parents are extremely strict. If you think your parents are strict, you haven't met mine. From the time I was a kid, I was never allowed to go to sleepovers or even go to friends' houses. All my friends had to come over to my house. Luckily, my parents are pretty cool and I do have fun with them. But I quickly started resenting them. Here's the reason I think they're super strict. My mom actually ended up getting pregnant from my dad when she was 16. So they were super young. And of course, they didn't want the same thing to happen to me. I guess I kind of understood why they were strict. When I was 13, I decided I would start sneaking out to go to parties. All of my friends had parties and I was the only one that was never allowed to go. So I actually got pretty good at sneaking out. I convinced my parents that I would go to bed early, then I would have a backpack ready and I would just sneak out the window. Luckily, I'm on the first floor. Part 2 is up. I'm 16 and pregnant and I haven't told my parents. What should I do? I got really good at sneaking out of the house to go to parties. Eventually, I started sneaking out almost 3 times a week. Anytime anyone was having a get-together, or a party, or when I was asked out by a boy. My parents had a strict rule that I could not date any boys, especially spend any time alone with them. But this boy at school that I really, really liked asked me out. Apparently, my friends made sure to tell him that I liked him, and then he said that he liked me. So there was no way I was going to pass up on the chance to just hang out with him. I was 15 and I had never been kissed. So I snuck out of the house just like I did every other time. We actually met at a park and just talked for like 2 hours. Then he walked me home and everything was pretty innocent. I even thought about telling my parents, but I decided not to. But this boy quickly started pressuring me into doing things that I wasn't ready to do. It's not like I was sneaking out with the intention to do anything. I just wanted to have fun. But he started asking me to wear different clothes, and I did. He even asked me to get a belly button piercing. Part 3 is up. 16 and pregnant, and I still haven't told my parents. And I'm also 5 months along. That's when this boy started pressuring me into get a belly button piercing. I started changing the way that I dressed. Then he started pressuring me into doing things like kissing and touching. At this point, I was still sneaking out of the house almost every single night to see him. That's when he started pressuring me into going to his house instead of the park. And I said yes because I didn't want him to break up with me. When I told him I didn't want to go all the way, he told me that there were plenty of girls in school that would happily take my place. So we went all the way. At this point, I was 15 and I had just gotten my period. By the way, I didn't even tell my mom about my period because I thought they would freak. After 2 months passed, I didn't get my period. And I thought that was normal. I had literally no idea about periods. Then another 2 months passed and no period. And that's when I started feeling really sick. And I thought, well, I might as well go get a test. And it was positive. When I told the boy, he broke up with me and told me that I probably did it with somebody else. I feel like I can hide the whole pregnancy because I'm pretty skinny. My mom's asking me why I'm wearing big clothes. My parents will literally kill me. What should I do?
I'm literally gonna have a mental breakdown. So basically, I'm at my high school right now, and we're all painting parking spots. And whatever we paint on our parking spots is literally stuck here for a whole year. And I'm like, oh my god, mine's gonna look so good. Mine's gonna be the best one here. Y'all, I don't know what to do. Look how ugly this is. Oh, it's so ugly. Look how crooked, bro. And look at everybody else's. Like, bro. And then this is mine. Stuck like this for you. I'm gonna try to make it better. I'm gonna put like writing on it. Hold on, let's see if this fixes it. I tried to put y'all literally, but it's literally more crooked than the star. I'm over it at this point. I'm just gonna paint it. If it's crooked, it's crooked. Y'all, I just finished my spot. I think I'm literally on the verge of tears. This is hideous. Y'all, I literally spelt my painting. I literally spelt literally wrong. And this is stuck on here till next year. Not only does it look crooked and bad, I forgot to put another L. I literally spelt literally wrong. I look so dumb. Like, I'm actually about to cry. I'm debating just painting the whole thing white. What do I even do? This is so dumb. I already know that my sister crashed my dad's Jaguar, but here's how it happened. So basically, like 2 weeks ago, I was going to Vegas. My dad was going to Michigan. My sister, she wasn't going anywhere, so she was going to be home alone. Now, the issue is that I was taking my car to the airport. My dad was taking his work car to Michigan, which means the only car in the house for my sister to drive was my dad's $80,000 Jaguar. And since she had work, she literally had to have a car to get to work. So my dad was like, okay, I guess you could take the Jaguar to work. It's the only car in the house. You need to go to whatever. Just like drive safe. That was like the biggest mistake of his life. So she's on her way to work. She's coming up to a one-way stop. As she's coming up to the stop sign, she goes to brake and the car hydroplane goes through the stop sign. Then she gets T-by another car going 35 miles an hour. So then the Jaguar does a nice little 360 spin. And then boom shakalaka. Just like that, the car was totaled. It wouldn't even start up. The car was done, totaled. If y'all want to see the pictures, it's on my Instagram story. Since my dad was out of town in Michigan, he didn't see it for another 2 days. When he saw it, he literally just started crying, as he would, because that car was his baby. So yeah, for like a week until the car got towed away. Literally couldn't go into the garage without crying. Now the Jaguar's gone. It's not in here. So yeah, basically, my sister totaled my dad's Jaguar. I still cannot believe it happened. Like, I'm in shock.